let's talk about Bethesda, and let's talk about something weird that happened to PlayStation that I found out today. But mostly we're talking about Bethesda and Xbox acquiring Bethesda in this video that I'm recording right now, live on my Twitch channel. Bethesda got bought by Microsoft, which makes Microsoft one of the largest publishers in video gaming right now. And I can say that because even though you've got EA and Activision that make billions and billions of dollars, Microsoft now owns 343 Industries, World's Edge, The Coalition, Compulsion Games, Double Fine, Ninja Theory, Mojang, In Exile, The Initiative, Obsidian, Playground Games, Rare, Turn 10, Undead Labs, ZeniMax Media, ZeniMax Online, Tango Gameworks, Machine Games, id Software, Arcane, and Bethesda Studios. This is a big deal. This is a huge deal, guys, because Sony is still relatively small when you think about it. You've got Sony Santa Monica, Sony Bend, Media Molecule, Polyphony Digital, Japan Studio, Naughty Dog, Sucker Punch, and that's about it. And a lot of people are afraid that Bethesda games are only going to be exclusive to Xbox now. And I don't think that's the intent here. I think a lot of the intent is being misrepresented. Certainly console exclusives, yeah, Bethesda games could potentially go to Xbox and not to PlayStation. They say that they're going to honor their current contracts, but I think the big thing here is what they plan to do with these studios in the future, and that is really bolster Game Pass. I think the idea is for Game Pass to be the Netflix of video gaming. There's a lot of stuff going into xCloud. There's a lot of resources going into Game Pass and a lot of incentives to get Game Pass. For example, right now you can get Doom Eternal on Game Pass as of the announcement of this acquisition. Any first-party studio game that they have coming out of Microsoft Studios goes day one, that day, to Game Pass. And I think that Microsoft is not looking as they say that they're not looking at Nintendo or PlayStation as competitors, and I believe them. I believe that what they're really looking at is they're looking at Amazon, which has their new streaming service coming out called Luna in the future. They're looking at the Stadias of the world, and they're looking at PlayStation Now. So that's what's going on here. I think that Microsoft is positioning themselves and future-proofing themselves for when games do go all digital, or when it is subscription services and not independent games. I think that's what's happening here, and I think Microsoft is going to be in the lead here. PS Now is working. PlayStation is working with the Xbox and having Xbox Game or Xbox Cloud X, excuse me, powering the PlayStation Now service. And in trade, because Sony is giving them some AI learning tools, some deep learning tools, and some visual help, pushing their visual boundaries. So there is a little exchange there going, and I hope it opens up to something bigger, like seeing Xbox Game Pass on PlayStation devices. I think that would be really, so it wouldn't matter what box you own, as you know. I do think PlayStation does have an uphill battle though, and they need to really start paying attention to PlayStation Now to be competitive with Xbox in the future, because right now Xbox is going to be leading this charge. Xbox is looking at, like I said, the Amazon Lunas, the Google Stadias, and they're also looking at stuff like NVIDIA GeForce Now. Something weird that happened to PlayStation over the weekend is there are some Japanese users that are kind of mad and claim that they're not going to be buying a PlayStation. And it's all because, I don't know if you guys remember, but when the PlayStation 1 released here in America, if the game was Japanese, O meant yes and X meant cancel. If it was an American release, however, X meant yes and O meant cancel. And over time, we've seen a lot, the rise of the Western developers, and we've seen a lot more games like PS2, PS3 move to that X is yes and O is negative. But in Japan, it's still always been the same thing. O is yes, X is negative. I know, mind-blowing. But now, all of a sudden, after all these years, Sony has decided to uniform worldwide that X is yes and O is negative. Well, if you live in Japan, where you're the outlier, this has become a big problem for some of those users who claim that muscle memory and how they react to and interface with consoles is going to be a big deal. And you have a lot of people in Japan that are angry about this, apparently, and they're not ready or willing to change. However, you do have the defenders that are saying, oh, I can get used to this in like a few minutes. But there is that hardcore that's been following for decades that now this is changing. They don't want to have anything to do with PlayStation. It's an interesting situation that PlayStation finds themselves in, especially since they are a Japanese-owned company. So we'll just have to wait and see what that turns out to be in Japan. How bad does this impact their sales over there? But anyway, guys, that's all of the news I got for you guys today. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like the video. Please leave a comment down below. I'm going to go hang out with my Twitch chat, which I stream to 7 days a week over on Twitch, twitch.tv/Stendo. I'm going to go talk to those guys and discuss this with them. Have a good one. If you're watching on YouTube, appreciate you watching.